Well, I'm excited today to have a special guest. For those who have been watching my YouTube channel, Carnage Philosophy, you'll know that I'm big about talking about mindset, mentality, etc. So my guest today, she is a yoga teacher, spiritual healer, a mentor to many, and also the founder and creator of Yoga Samba, the lovely Luciana.
Thank you.
So what I want to talk about today with Luciana, what I'd like to talk to you about, is bringing the attention around to the viewers of, firstly, what is consciousness?
First of all, thank you for interviewing me. And to me, consciousness is a very deep awareness of self and the world around you.
Perfect. Now, for those people listening that maybe aren't aware of how to activate that, or in particular, how to get closer to full consciousness, awareness of self, is there some steps or some daily practices that they could follow?
Absolutely. There are many, but the simple ones that I absolutely love and I find them very effective, one is the breath. So the breath is really a great guide to bring us inward, because the only way that you can have the awareness, the consciousness, is drawing your attention inwards. So breath work. And the other one is time alone in nature, because when we are in nature, automatically our attention is inwards, because nature supports us to feel safe, to feel calm, and to go inwards. So I find those two the best and more effective tools.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just like with my fight career, obviously when we were training and going to the fight, we had to be very conscious of like what is coming, what is happening. We had to sort of shut out the outside world and be very tunnel vision. Being a yoga teacher, I guess the practice kind of, Muay Thai, the 8 limbs, and yoga, the 8 limbs. I guess yoga is really another probably great step to be in consciousness within the body, but also in the mind.
Yes, and it's funny because before I met you, I had no idea about fight and martial arts, and Muay Thai is actually pretty close to yoga in so many ways, because it is mindfulness practice. Like, you have to be present and block from everything around you to really develop, in your case, the skills with the techniques. And in yoga practice, it is important because it is what deeply connects you with your emotions and with the mind and with the spirit. So this is why I always say, like, we live in a world where we are very fixated in the body, how we look, and so we exercise a lot. But for instance, when I see people on the treadmill and they're watching TV, or they're reading a book, that is not a mindful practice, because you're not paying attention to your movement. Like, your mind is in something else and your body is doing something different. So that is not a connection. So then that is no mindfulness. So you're not being conscious. You're not fully present in the moment. So I think that Muay Thai and yoga and many other martial arts and practice helps you to be mindful, therefore brings you to a more conscious state.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think that putting them together, what you spoke about earlier, with conscious awareness, and I think being in the Muay Thai or in the kickboxing or in the yoga, you have to become aware of the body, aware of the movement, aware of where the mind and body is at. What about thoughts? Can we bring consciousness into our thoughts, so we're not just having thoughts that are just happening for us, versus consciously aware of those thoughts that we're having either by habit or by choice?
Absolutely. And that's where, like, the breath work and meditation really helps, because the mind will keep producing thoughts until the day we die. Like, we can't, like, sometimes people think, oh, if I meditate I will stop thinking. No, we never stop thinking. What changes is that you become an observer of your mind, and you learn the patterns of your mind. We all have patterns, you know, sometimes, you know, fast or slow thoughts, or sometimes we tend to be more in the past, or we linger in the past, therefore we feel more depressed, or we are ahead in the future, so then that brings anxiety. So when we are not in present time, we are not fully in control of our thoughts. And when I say control of the thoughts, is our minds are here to support us to survive. So it is our survival mode. Our mind will always project everything that can hurt us or harm us. So there is a lot of negative thinking in the mind that sometimes we think it is true, but it is not true. And when you meditate, when you spend a lot of time in solitude and, you know, in nature, you learn how to observe those thoughts, and then you learn that those thoughts necessarily is not true. So that's when you look to your mind and go like, oh sweetheart, everything is okay, this thought is not true, and then you let go.
Yeah, wonderful. So breathing to bring us into consciousness,
Yes.
nature to bring us into
Yes.
consciousness, awareness in our body, which is in movement, brings us into consciousness, and also having a control of our thoughts, so we have conscious thoughts versus unconscious thoughts, would be, I guess, the 4 takeaways from today.
Which is affirmations. You know, for example, if I am someone that has this negative thinking of, you know, you're fat, and then, you know, you have to change that. I love my body, I'm not fat, I'm healthy. So just changing the patterns and the thinking will bring the shift and the change also to your physical body, your emotional body, and the mental body.
Absolutely amazing. Well, thank you, Luciana, and
You're welcome.
I really hope the listeners got to take something away today from the lovely Luciana, of course, and really start to be more conscious and live more consciously. Thank you.